Listen, I understand. You can sometimes just sit there at your desk on a nice Monday morning, very nice Monday, I know. And you can just kind of think to yourself, wow, like I chose this so long ago. I chose to code things. Why does it feel boring? Well, I'd say there are some things out there that you might have not done that can indefinitely make your coding experience better. And the first of which doesn't even require you to have a coding editor, any coding skills, just kind of being a boss though. There's definitely one requirement for this. If you truly want to make coding more fun and more intuitive, I recommend that you actually learn how to type. And that's what we're going to get into right now. The first thing you can do is just learn to type. And I'll show you. There's very easy resources to do this. It is a well-known thing that you want to have 100% of your mind on the coding editor and what you're actually thinking of and nothing else. So whenever you look down at your keyboard whenever you're typing, that's just not going to be good. It's best you learn to type with two hands. The first thing you can do to heal yourself of any typing mishaps, you can just learn to type with your right hand. I recommend this website right here. It's basically my go-to. Let's see if I still got it. Oh boy. I'm a little bit rusty, as you can see. I did kind of just get on. I know it's 1:35. I know you see the time. I'm not a lazy person, I promise. But I'd say I get 120 words per minute on average. And that's perfectly fine. Anything above 90, you're pretty much locked in. But one of the main things people suck at is typing with the right hand because, you know, that's the mouse hand. The mouse, I know, it's like a slur at this point to use your mouse. And if you aren't aware, the whole entire internet was sort of designed for your keyboard. And I think it's very intuitive for you to learn how to just use your keyboard to do everything. That's why there's nothing wrong with using a kernel like Linux at all. So you can also go to your fellow Google and type up right hand typing exercises. That's a weird word to type. And we have Typing Mentor here to make our lives a lot better. So, yawn, mom, kin. See, I'm looking down. So as you can see, I'm definitely not a right-hand typer. Oh my God, this is embarrassing. But look, that's fine. Failing is, there's nothing wrong with failing. There's something wrong with staying a failure though. That's what's not good. And by the way, it's very unergonomic to type with one hand on one side of the keyboard for everything. So of course your speed's gonna be pretty much minimalized throughout this whole entire process, but that's just this part of the video. Let's get to something else. Another thing you can most definitely do, and this one I did not even learn about until about recently, but that would be to learn how to use a coding editor. And I don't mean just learn the ins and outs. I mean you literally need to know how to make it sexy, more than just using some custom theme you saw on the extensions. Can my voice not crack? It's been cracking for years. Sorry, I had some errors there. And if you look around, this is a lot sexier. I feel like it's a lot more sexy than my last few things I've done. And honestly, it did take me a little bit to understand. I had a buddy who's absolutely cracked out of his mind. Axo, I will link all this stuff in the description. That's his name on the screen. Absolutely cracked demon. Love him. So the fonts first off are a lot more readable, but if you really start diving deep, you notice the double equal signs actually automate to be this and not equal to automates to this. And such things just make it a lot more pretty. And I think this is very crucial to people who want to have a more like kind experience. And I think the same goes for you if you want to, you know, live in the PowerShell or live with whatever sort of kernel you're using. I don't know if PowerShell's a kernel, but in this case it does because of how I customized it. There's things you can do that make your experience better. So you have something called a profile here, and the profile runs every time you run PowerShell. And these sort of commands just make it easier. And a lot of these actually come built into Linux, but that's for uber customization. So let's say I want to list any part of my directory. So I can just do ls, and it just does it in a different way. Although my icons are broken, that's really weird. I did change around my settings a lot, so a lot of this could just be not working, but these can all be fixed. And you have a best friend named Claude. Claude is like literally going to be your homeboy, bro. He will do all this annoying stuff for you most of the time because a lot of these already exist and the documentation for how to install them is already there. So an AI scraper can just go through and just find out how to do all these installations and just throw them into one profile. It's not like the hardest thing on earth. Although if you want to set it up yourself, go for it. So I'd say it's best to just go into your settings on VS Code and just mess around. Here's a feature I actually really like and I've used in the past. If I go to here, I just go to, what's a workspace? I just look up, it was like some weird name. Hold on. Yeah, the smooth caret animation. This can make it really cool to type. Like I can just, it almost distracts me a little bit. So I do end up turning it off sometimes, to be honest with you. But if I go to anywhere and I just feel like adding stuff, it definitely just works. Like, yo, this is what I am typing in a smooth. I don't know, dude. I'm just bullshitting, but it's really neat. So if I do like fmt.println, yo, It just looks really sweet. But the end goal of this is to just turn this sort of stuff into your hobby. You should probably get as fluent as possible within your coding editor. It is just a really convenient thing for you to do because you're gonna be spending a lot of time here and it can get really boring. So switching it up is fine. When people play video games that are like rhythm video games, one of the strategies they actually utilize or employ is they will just change the pitch of their song. They change the pitch or whatever, something about the song, so it's just different. It feels like a new experience all over again. And you know, when you first learned how to code, everything was new. So you're kind of getting that experience again, even though you know stuff. So it's kind of just benevolent to you. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's gonna be very brief, but have a good day. Enjoy your coding. See ya.